kind of the whole reason I'm in this whole situation is just like my addiction and the issues that I've had with like substance use and all that. It's kind of just I realized like always like growing up especially, I've always like tried to find something to grasp onto, I started off with like weed or something, and then I go to like psychedelics or whatever it was always me clinging onto something, nicotine, and it's just, so then it just got more and more and more, and I had, the effects were less and less, they weren't getting me as higher or where I wanted to be, so then it just got higher and higher, and here in Salida, there's definitely a big drug problem on. Thankfully, in recovery, like early recovery, but at least it's like slowly, and so I'm making the steps to like cope with all of my emotions and mental illnesses or whatever I use for, and just find coping skills so that I can like stay sober and do good. So right now, sober is my first priority, and then I'm gonna like try to find a house or something, and hopefully everything will just unfold, I feel like drug addicts just get like a bad name almost just because they think, oh, drugs, oh, bad. They just are a piece of crap, pretty much, and it's not how it is at all. There's some reason underneath all the use, that something started it. There's something that like they're trying to get out of it, and I don't know any addict that just started for no reason, or just went to the top. It's just they slowly climbed there and found out what they like, and just, I don't know. I feel like people should just like try to understand, like try to go and meet with an addict or something, talk to them, understand like where they started from, instead of just judging right away. I'm homeless and a druggie, and all of like the rich people like across the river, I've had them call cops on me multiple times and stuff because we're just in a tent, and they, beautiful Salida, God forbid, we're looking at a homeless person, so I just don't understand why you want to go and like talk to them, be like, hey, like, how are you guys doing? You guys need anything? Like, you need help moving or something? I don't know. I feel like Salida, there's just like very judgy people or very open-minded people, which is everywhere, but it's in a smaller town, you see it a lot more, I don't have like I don't know, people like have like a career dream or something. I'm more just like, I want to be happy and stable. That's my biggest dream, is just to not be stressing about money or whatever it is, and just be like genuinely happy, just find something that, whether it's a career or a hobby or something that I find joy in, that like gets me waking up in the morning and wanting to get out of bed, that's my biggest goal and dream. I don't necessarily need like some high-paying job or anything, I just want to be able to like change, like work with young adolescents that want to like change, or like something in like addiction recovery, especially since I've been through it and I could, help. I could like go and change people's lives or something, that's my biggest goal. Even like growing up, like not necessarily like struggling, but like not the most money or whatever, like especially with like a single mom, and like how is she gonna take care of her 2 kids, she's gonna bust her butt working, and it makes me like respect things now, I work for everything that I have, like a phone, I'm gonna work my butt off just to like get a phone, and it feels good after. You're like, yes, I got this, like I succeeded, it just, I don't think necessarily like growing up struggling, is such a bad thing. I feel like it's better than like a lot of like my rich friends that I had growing up. Like, look at them now, they don't, mommy and daddy bought them a car and stuff, they didn't work for it, they don't cherish it as much, I think I don't know, it's just, especially in Salida, I've definitely noticed like people that have a lot of things, they don't really appreciate them as much, rather than the tent I have, that's my home, and it's just, I'm so thankful just for like my tent, and like all my belongings that I do have, which, I don't know, different from a lot of people. I just want you to like show everyone that they need to be like more open-minded. There's a story behind everything. There's good and bad in everyone. It's just, I feel like people are so close to judge. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's just, especially, I don't know, someone could look all like tatted up or something and look like a bad person, but they could be a really amazing person, you know, working with babies or something, you know, you never really know. I feel like you just need to be more open-minded, you know, want to get to know people instead of just assuming, you know. I don't know, especially with like addicts or like someone going to prison or something, you know, they just automatically see that and think the worst, you know.
And then now that you're in recovery,
yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
What do you have anything that you want to say to people who aren't there yet?
Ooh. That's hard.
Yeah.
I have no clue. Believe that everything's gonna get better. You know, look really good in everything. That's about it. 'Cause it's hard.
Do you feel like you have the support you need?
Yeah.
Good.
It's definitely always been there too, you know, I just didn't want it, you know. Once you're so low and you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to go do anything, you know, you want your next fix, you want to get high, you know, you want to get away from reality. And my mom's always, she pushes me and pushes me, like the one person I feel like that hasn't like given up, called it quits. Everyone else is like, okay, whatever, she's stubborn, she's gonna do whatever. My mom's like, no, I'm stubborn too. You're gonna do it. So I don't know, my family's definitely the biggest support. Yeah. And a few real friends that I have, you know, people that are also like, my best friend's also in recovery, and she was the most functioning addict I have ever met, but it also, like, her mental was not the best, you know. She could go to work and school and do everything she needed to, but she couldn't get all of her mental figured out, you know, when she's at home by herself or hanging out, you know. She's just stuck in her head. So now she's in recovery and she's doing good, like 6-7 months clean, something like that. Like, she's doing amazing. So it's been, she hasn't given up on me too, you know. It's been family and my best friend. I can do it, you can do it, like, you got this. So that's good. I feel like everything that I've done has been for a reason, you know, whether it's just like, I don't know, I feel like I've always had a big heart, you know, so I've always wanted to help as much as I can, and then I always have done everything for a reason, you know. I've got where I'm at, and I'm gonna get higher, you know. I've been at the bottom, you know, and now I'm like in the process of going up, so, you know, you don't always have to be like at rock bottom to like get to the highest, but I feel like for me personally, I needed to like lose everything to realize that this is like serious, like this is not, you can't use for the rest of your life, you know. You need to like snap into reality and get a home and get a job, and I want my family to trust me, you know. I want people to not just like see me as like the addicts, you know, and the things that I did while I was using, or just where I am now, you know, and where I'm going, where my future is going, you know. Does that make sense? I hate the people, like, especially growing up in a town, you know, and then going through everything that I have. Everyone knows, you know. It's not hard to know that I dropped out of high school and then I am an addict and homeless and all that, but I want people to try to like look over that, you know, and try to like look at where I'm going with me, you know. Let me like tell you about where I'm going instead of where I'm at. Like that's what I want people to know. Just my goals, you know. I'm working up to something, you know, and I'm not being forced to do it like I was every other time. Like every other time it was court system putting me in rehab or a detox center or something, and now it's like me choosing to get the help I need and doing it, you know, without being forced to, which is definitely needed. I think the next thing I need is like therapy. You know, I need therapy, and then I need to find a home. I think that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm over the physical detoxing from it, and I need to like start working on the mental part, because the mental is what makes people relapse. I feel like the easiest, you know, because it's why they chose to use in the first place. They don't want to deal with all that, but I think by me going to therapy and working on it, getting through those problems, and looking at options for housing will help too, you know? And then a job. Definitely a job.